Guess what? You will not, I repeat, you will not ever be able to outrun, avoid, hide, distance yourself from your subconscious programs that are directly attached to your childhood trauma. Yes, if you're hearing this message, I'm grateful for you to be hearing the message, but I have to tell some hard truths today that you can't control it, you can't avoid it, and it's really been the linchpin, the frustration of so many people's lives, because it's when we have unhealed childhood trauma, it's sort of like it's this mystery within ourselves. It's probably the best way for me to frame it. That's been the way I've experienced it my whole life. It was a mystery. And it always left me feeling like, is there something wrong with me? Why do I act like this? And the worst thing is the worst part of how I acted, it was twofold. I would do it towards myself. I would do things that were risky, unhealthy, and definitely self-sabotaging. And secondly, when I was expressive, when I was reactive, I would turn that energy onto people that I cared about. And I can promise you 9 times out of 10, just kidding, 10 times out of 10, that left them not feeling that they could trust me at an emotional level, right? To be safe and secure in my presence, because the crazy thing about the emotional triggers, when you get your buttons pushed, when you are emotionally unregulated and you get stimulated to react, it's like it can come out of nowhere. It can literally just come out of it. That's what it feels like. It's like 1 minute you're cool, everything's cool and chill. And the next minute, holy shit, this motherfucker's on fire. Can you relate to what I'm talking about? If you can, we're here. I'm here for you. We're here for each other, right? It's time to get past the stigmas, shine some light in some dark areas of our lives, primarily in our past, and start to figure some things out about ourselves. That's really the healing process, is once you, self-awareness, self-mastery, is giving yourself permission without judgment and condemnation and without fear of just the guilt and the shame. I mean, it's all there, right? It wants to come up. It wants to control your life because it wants you to feel like there's nothing you can do about it. And it's a whole side of us that we call it the ego, right? It's the ego that manifests itself as this very stubborn, very self-sabotaging, very confused, very angry, frustrated, controlling, manipulative, secretive version of who we are. And we all know that ain't the best version, right? We know when we're living in secrecy, whether we're trying to hide our habits, our behaviors, our patterns, right? That's not it. And yet, how many of us find ourselves in the depths of those types of that season where we're trying to just live in secrecy, and yet we're also stuck, and we're wishing and wanting something to give, something to change. And I know for me, subconsciously, I was doing a lot of things that I knew would probably and inevitably get me to a rock bottom moment. Crash and burn. So that way, I either completely destroyed myself or I allowed myself an opportunity to renew myself. And what you are hearing and who you are seeing right now is a man that renewed himself. That renewal from that rock bottom moment, from that hopeless time. It took that for me to get crystal clear and laser focused on saying something has to change, and I'm willing to change everything about my life. Does that mean it was instantaneous and easy? No. But what I have learned along this path is that we are the authors of our realities. And the only reason why you would not feel like you're the author of your reality is because you have given up on writing your story. You are just allowing your story to be, it's sort of like AI, right? You've allowed your story to actually be a continuation of what you've already experienced. So it's like a rerun, because you basically have put down the pen and paper. And all you continue to do is rewind and replay the situations and the circumstances of your past. And yet, even though things show up differently as you move forward, if you were to truly look and chalk up the patterns of the things that are showing up, I can guarantee you there's a lesson and a message in each and every one of these things that you're experiencing. And I can almost guarantee you they're all the same. It's wanting you to make some real drastic changes, to go through your transformation, to go through your spiritual awakening. And yet, you resist it. You continue to play out the self-abandonment. And it's like sometimes we just need to surrender, right? There's clouds raising all around here right now. I'm so grateful. Maybe we're going to get some storms today. There's clouds rising all around. And this morning when I was outside doing my journaling, it was as blue as could blue. I mean, there wasn't one cloud in the sky. It's interesting how quickly things can change. But I could be someone sitting here getting frustrated because there's clouds rising. I could be here in resistance. Say, no, I don't want this. I didn't say I wanted there to be stormy today. I wanted it to be sunny. And again, that's all in my head. Most of us, it's everything, not most, all of us. You're operating based on what is in your mind, your thoughts. And most of your thoughts, day in and day out, are a reoccurrence of, guess what? The thoughts from yesterday. And the way that you shift this is by what I did. And that was learning how to journal, learning how to reflect, learning how to get all of the thoughts out of my head, the negative thoughts, to really find the courage and the strength to face the negative thoughts inside my head. And not put the judgment on it like I'm crazy or what's wrong with me? No, it was just literally saying, what and who's coming up with all this shit? Is this really a part of me? And what I have found out is it doesn't matter how it breaks down to what part of you that negative is. What I know is it's not the true part of you. The truest part of you is love, joy, peace, light, generosity, kindness, happiness, success, graciousness, compassion, understanding, curiosity, expansion, The false version of you, the pretend version of you, the one wearing multiple masks, is the one that's caught up in secrecy, mystery, deception, lies, guilt, shame, grief, apathy, anger, pride. It's all ego-based. And that ego will take your ass out. It has a stranglehold over you. It has you literally taken hostage. You've taken yourself hostage by the cowardice in you. And it does take you breaking free from that. And sometimes you just don't have it in you. Or you just don't feel like you have it in you. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about having the courage and the strength to get past being your own worst enemy. What I've learned is, in all the seasons that I have felt stuck, the way I get unstuck is to take action. It's to face my fear. And sometimes what that takes is asking for some help. It's a funny thing what happens when you start to invest in yourself. When you stop expecting for people to give you things for free, and you say, you know what? I'm going to invest my time, my resources, and my energy into this process, knowing that it's a win-win situation. What processes am I talking about? I'm talking about you finding the courage this summer to get locked in on the Results Kill Excuses 1% Better Everyday Journal. Volume 1. And as I'm saying this message, if you are working on Volume 1 or you're looking at locking in long term, Volume 2 is ready to rock. It's available. Click on that link down below. There's actually a bonus pack for both Volume 1 and 2. That's a 6-month program. That's 6 months of really, I mean, you're talking, there's probably going to be over a dozen hours worth of coaching, self-paced coaching, to really help you to start discovering and figuring out your true self, which is really releasing the false identity and really starting to embrace the truth of who you truly are at the spiritual soul level, the eternal soul. Not the person that's carrying around all the emotional baggage. You know, that's the stuff that I want to help you get rid of, to let go of, so that you can be free. So you can be free. So you're no longer captive. You can be like an eagle soaring in this world. Free for adventure, free for happiness, free to love, free to give. No longer carrying around the scarcity and the failure and the worry and the doubt and the guilt and the shame. You set yourself free. It's such a beautiful thing, and it's literally just it's a mindset shift. You shift that mental attitude that you have inside of you, which then, you know, trickulates down into your soul and into your body, into your conscientiousness. And definitely the 1% Better Everyday Journal is going to help you to reprogram those negative thinking. It's going to help you to start processing through your emotional wounds from your past. It's going to help you to start holding yourself accountable and creating little bit goals every single day that then tie into weekly goals and monthly goals for the next 3, 6 months, 1 year. My goal is to have all 4 volumes ready to rock and roll so you can lock in for a whole year of staying committed to yourself along this journey. And there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to do that. Because you don't want to, you're too afraid. It's the unknown. It's not really that unknown though. If you were to sit there for a moment right now and try and imagine what you wish was different about your life, right? Do you wish you had a different job? Do you wish you had a different body? Do you wish you had better health? Do you wish you had more income? Do you wish you had more opportunities to go out and be adventurous and have fun and go out fishing or hiking or camping or whatever it is that you love to do. Do you just wish you could do more of those things? Well, stop wishing and know that if you start to tap into your true and authentic self, this is the reward of your efforts. By locking in and doing this process in healing, you shed everything that's holding you back, everything that makes you feel unworthy. And then what you start to do is you clear space, which then opens you up to channel your gifts, your talents, your creativity. And as you do that, guess what? New opportunities that you probably don't even realize are just waiting for you. But maybe you've had dreams, maybe you've had thoughts about these, right? I'm someone in my heart of hearts, I've always known that I'm capable of greatness. There's greatness inside of me. That's not ego. That's not being arrogant. That's not cocky. That's just like, when I look around and I see successful people, I'm like, what makes them different? Right? But it's not even comparing what makes them different. It's like, how are we the same? Well, we're both people. They're just tuned into something that they have a greater level of confidence and belief in themselves. And now that I have stopped playing small, these things are starting to unfold. And there's things that I didn't even see as a possibility that are now full part of my reality that I am so grateful for. And I know that you would have the same experience if you were willing to find the confidence and the courage to take action. Take action. Multiple opportunities here. There's now 6 months of 1% Better Everyday Journal ready for you to rock and roll. Volume 1 and 2 are ready. What else did you ask? The Breath of Life Healing Circle. Where are you? Why are you not with us? Connecting, reflecting, communicating and connecting with other people. Giving yourself the ability to visualize and to breathe and to heal and to release. To help learn how to regulate your nervous system so that you can be a greater conduit for change in your life. It's all energy. Everything is energy. And guess what is where does the frequency start? Right here in your head. So if you're doubtful, if you're fearful, if you're skeptical, if you're tired of getting burned, you're tired of trying things that never work, you need to ask yourself this. Do you go into everything with skepticism, or do you show up, or are you able to make a shift to where you can start showing up with an openness that even if it doesn't go, even if you create an expectation that it has to be this way, the chances of it being that way, it's probably, it's less than half, right? Because everyone filters through a different lens when it comes to expectations. When I show up to new things, I show up open-hearted, open-minded, meaning I don't really have expectations. I look for alignment. When I came across this lady, you can maybe see the marks there on my arm, the combo, right? This sacred medicine. And this lady was selling jewelry, and we get to talking, and I'm somebody I know that connections and synchronicities like you finding me finding her, and vice versa, it's not an accident. But the difference with me is I expect these things and I respond to them. So I meet this lady. She's just selling jewelry, but we start talking about all the fun things I love to talk about. And next thing you know, she's telling me, well, yeah, she's a shaman also, and she does these medicines. And I said, that's why I'm here today, and that's why I met you. When can I try it? That's just my heart. And that's really like a child's, that's really the innocence that we long for that we think is long gone. And it's like, no, I've just rechanneled into that. Because even if I had done it and it didn't go, one, I didn't even have an expectation, but let's just say I did, and it didn't go as I expected, I'm going to still look at it from the positive and to say, hey, I learned something from that experience. Again, this is the reflection that's actually, it's funny, this is what's built into the 1% Better Everyday Journal, is every single day you're given an opportunity to reflect on the day before and say, what did you do right and what could you do better? It's having an honest appraisal and not getting emotionally overwhelmed by all the bullshit going on in this world outside of yourself that you have zero fucking control over. And if you're somebody that's getting all lost in the sauce, emotionally speaking, overwhelmed and mental, whether it's the high or the low, whether it's watching sports or watching riots or anything in between, if you're somebody that gets high or low emotionally, right, I am telling you, that is an indicator. It is a key indicator that you lack the ability to emotionally regulate because you need stimulation outside of yourself versus being centered on yourself to where it's like, I see this stuff going on and it doesn't really even faze me. And it's not like I'm numbed out and totally checked out. It just doesn't faze me. I'm focused on launching volume 2 of the 1% Better Everyday Journal because I have control over that, right? It's a direct part of my life. It's a part of my purpose. I don't have any control over watching the news and being fed whatever I'm supposed to be fed and then taking that as that's the whole story and that's the whole truth and good guys versus bad guys and injustice versus justice. What does that matter? What does it matter? How does it change your life? We want these things that we latch onto emotionally to somehow validate that what we're doing, that by you having a thought, by you having an emotional investment, you're either for something or against something energetically, that somehow that justifies your existence. It doesn't. What justifies your existence is what is the frequency that you're emitting. Are you emitting love or are you emitting fear? Are you emitting confidence, optimism, and hope? Or are you emitting doubt, guilt, anger, hatred? And the beautiful thing is, great spirit, you can't bullshit it. You can't bullshit the powers that be with your words and your posts. It's what is in your heart, what is in your mind. Whether you are expressing that or not, that is what's showing up in your life. So if your life is completely overwhelmed, defeated, frustrated, angry, filled with hate, that is what's in your heart. And it's time to free yourself from that. You can shift to love, joy, peace, light, kindness, even to those that you don't think maybe now deserve your kindness. And if this message aligns with you, just like me running into a lady selling jewelry that then is a shaman that I do these incredible healing ceremonies with, that are just more, they're more experiences that have helped to expand me along this spiritual awakening so that I could even be more clear, more focused with my message. Because one of the results from that, as we're still in spring, we still got a little over a week, but one of the messages, one of the spiritual messages that came out of the combo session I did, which is a sacred medicine, it was a purge. Like you literally purge, but it was that I started to clear out my space. I had a storage unit that was full of stuff. And I said, okay, in 30 days, I'm gonna get that cleared out. Boom, I did that. I put my fucking feet on the fire. I said, I'm getting this done, and I got it done. But yet I still had some things that needed to be sifted through. I couldn't just completely donate and throw everything out. There was a lot of stuff in there, layers. And so even in the now, I've been clearing and decluttering and shredding and really sifting through those things. I haven't stopped. But that's what it takes when to be disciplined and committed and consistent with something. And guess what? By clearing and decluttering my space, my environment, my life, where am I going with this? That clears my mind, my energy, and my message. And I know those of you that have been listening, you can hear a shift. You hear a difference. And I know it even in myself. I hear a difference. I'm my biggest fan. I appreciate all of you, all the new subs, all of the hardcore supporters, those of you that are really locked in, drinking the Kool-Aid and truly putting yourself through the challenge of going through the self-discovery process, of truly releasing and facing yourself. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing to think that we have to, in order to heal our lives, we have to face ourselves, and we have to face the darkest parts of ourselves. Which I think that's what we mean when we say I'm battling my demons or skeletons in the closet. When there's no skeletons, it's usually a wounded child, the inner child version of ourselves, that's just sitting there all alone in a deep, dark part of your soul, waiting for you to self-rescue, to show up and say, ta-da, super dad's here, super mom's here. I see you, I love you, I got you. I got you. Come here. Come here. I love you so much. I accept you. We're going to get through this. Ain't nothing stopping us. We are never abandoning ourselves. We're never going to hurt ourselves. We are going to become the best version of ourselves. It needs all of you to do that. It needed all of me to do that. And it's actually the coolest thing you could do. Because when you do that for yourself, guess what? You start to show up with that frequency for so many people around you. And it's so true, it's so raw, it's so real, and it's very attractive because you're going to start really taking care of yourself. Not just for validation, but because you truly want to feel your best. You truly understand when you do things that are harmful and you stop. You say, no more, enough. I'm only going to do things that build me up. It's a really beautiful process when you can get to that level of self-accountability, to where you are truly accountable, extreme accountability to yourself. You take total ownership of your life and you start taking the actions and doing the necessary things in order to truly substantiate that you are on that path. Your actions will speak for it, not your faith, not your beliefs, not your words. It will be your actions, and guess what? Greater than that will be your energy. The energy you show up with is the greatest thing you got. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support, for all the love. I'm gonna keep showing up on here. It means the world to me that you are showing up for you as well. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.